Okay, so this air cylinder makes the blade go in and out. This part right here makes that go in and out. That's this air cylinder. This is a quick exhaust valve. There's a valve back in there, way back in there. It's a throttle valve. That's used for slowing the blade entry down through this flow control knob up here. So when that valve is on, it goes fast all the way down. When it's off, it goes through this flow control valve up here, and it slows this down. We'll see an example of that. The machine has limit sensors. This sensor is also used for homing at the beginning when you turn the machine on. Back here, you can see limit switch used for homing also in this direction, and this is a limit switch only for this direction. Clear back here on this corner right here. That's our limit switch for forward travel on the X direction. Okay, we're going to look down here underneath at the pneumatics. So the three main valves are here. The main air comes in through this clear line into this distribution block right here. Red is for the head, blue is for the blade, and black is for the clamps. Okay, there are three lines. They run all the way under here, and in that hole to the regulators. Okay, and then they run back and feed each valve. The outputs from the valve are on this side. These are the control circ lines here. This is for the clamps, the green wire, the green tube is for the clamps. Okay, there is a manual override on these valves. If you look really carefully, you can see a little round circle right there. That little round circle, if you press on it with a tool or your finger, it's a manual override. Okay. And then around here on the back side is the regulator and the connection for the main air input. Okay, so over on the computer, the first thing you have to do is you have to start the loader, and you double click on that and it runs through a little setup, and it talks to the motion controller. Okay, once that's done, then you go to the GUNNAR software. This happens to be SPT32, and you start it. And when you do, it's going to start the machine, and it's going to reset the machine. And there's a sequence. First thing it does is move back, turn the head, look for the X and the Y home switches, and park. Okay. Now, you'll notice this is the home switch for the cutting head, and the light is on when there's no metal underneath of it. To find home, it rotates the cutting head until that little metal target moves under the home sensor. That light will go off and it will register in the computer. This is the park position on this machine. The park can be set to any location on the table. In the SPT32 software, if I go to services, I can make it do that initialization routine at any time by clicking new installation. I can also make it go to the park position if it's not at the park position. I can also bring it to a blade change location on the table so it's easy to get to, because it's kind of not so easy to get to it when it's way out there. You might want it to move it closer over to the rail for changing the blade. This is the check machine tool, and this allows us to do things to the machine. For example, I can push the blade and it makes the blade go in and out. So if I show you this over here, the blade will go in and out. If I click on the head, 45-degree head here, this flow control right here controls how hard that hits the mat. By turning that flow control in, you can make it hit the mat softer. There's also, on the screen, there's a clamp button. And so if I watch the clamps, now if you pay attention, I have it in COE mode. So when one side goes down, the other side goes up. Okay. So right now I can't load the mat in there because the clamp is down. So now I can load the mat in that side. If I turn this knob the other way, you see those clamps over there popped up. And so now when I run the clamp button, they all go down and up together. Okay. There's the throttle valve. If I click that, you'll hear a little click. It's turning this valve inside the cutting head on and off. See that red light? Okay. If I use these buttons, I can make the motors move. For example, if I use this is for Y positive. One below it, Y negative. X negative. X positive. Negative. Head rotation. Both of these are head rotation. So clockwise and counterclockwise. That's how that works. If I want to home the machine, I go to services and new initialization. Homes the cutting head first, and then it goes and finds the X and the Y locations. Whichever home sensor it gets at first, it stops that direction and keeps going. So we should make the Y first, and then the X, and then back to the park position. So what we're going to do there, so this is the blade change position I have set for this machine. Okay. And if I go back to the park position, blade change, park. Okay. That's it.